The first Raven we ever get to throw hands with is one I owe a massive apology to. Let's talk about him, shall we? The Wildcat holds the honor of being the very first Armored Corps we get to duel in the entire franchise. Let's set the scene. The Murakumo Corporation desperately needs a bodyguard for their freighter train, Boulder. Thankfully, the attacking force of jets is quick work for our machine. After a short scuffle, the coast is clear. And then this happens.
Enemy AC approaching. Number of ACs, 1.
Referred to by some as the Red AC. No, not that one. Wildcat makes a dynamic entrance on the desert sands. A rather basic frame. He's composed of mostly the same shell parts as Anfing, with the exception of the incredibly stylish SRVT head. A piece whose designer still eludes me. Given the amount he worked on Armored Corps 1, it might be a safe assumption to assume Mr. Kawamori made this headpiece. However, with other talented artists like Nineball's dad on board, that is up for debate. Wildcat's loadout is about as unremarkable as his frame, with the only thing really standing out being
my guiding moonlight.
Something he will not hesitate to berserk with given the chance. It's best to keep him beyond blade length, hammering away with whatever weapons you've managed to muster this early on. His starting rifle and missile rack hold him back, so it's relatively easy to outgun him. You can attempt to outblade him if he fixates on Boulder, but don't be shocked if he hands you a moonlit backhand. With persistence, the AC will fall, ending his career for good. Your post-mission debrief will reveal that Wildcat had disappeared for unknown reasons after a sortie gone south. He'd attack everyone around him like a mad animal, with no care for his own well-being. It was like he wanted to die. This is where my apology is in order. See, when I first got into Armored Corps, I went in blind. No guide, no lore, just a scrap metal mech and a dream. When I read that he disappeared after a bad mission, only to go mad, my first assumption was, so what, he failed one mission and lost his shit? What a little bitch. Like a perfectionist, gone mad. I was wrong. I was so utterly wrong. Armored Corps 1 has a nifty little feature called Human Plus. Essentially, if you go 50k in debt, your body gets donated to the Murakumo Corporation to be experimented on. It's effectively a game over as you start the story over. However, every time you verbalize, you get a new perk, ranging from enhanced radar to firing shoulder mounts on the move, as well as keeping whatever AC you had when you went over. I knew about none of this. My massive hard-on for energy weapons and beam sabers meant my funds never went in the negative. Thus, my first run went through the entire franchise without experiencing Human Plus. Yay. That said, Human Plus becomes more relevant to the plot depending on which side of the corporate war you end up fighting for. Given the state we find Wildcat in, it is heavily implied that his prior failure landed him in the same bed we could end up in, only with his surgery going about as well as his sortie. It should be noted that blue copies of Wildcat show up in Murakumo's bases of operation, mass-produced ACs, swift and spiteful. Both of these mechs share an identical frame to Wildcat, with similar weapons to boot. What this means is unclear, but if you ask me, it looks like they took their research from Wildcat and tried to improve upon the initial test subject, or at least their machine. If Wildcat succeeds in destroying Boulder, or you get moonlit, you'll end up squaring off against him in the arena later. Interestingly, the English dub has a localization error that furthers the idea that Wildcat is quite insane.
So you're the scum who attacked the train. Now's a good time. Let's settle this right now.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal mode.
While he himself doesn't appear within the second gen, the mission Wildcat stars in has a surprising resurgence in Armored Corps 2. This time set upon the Martian dunes as opposed to the ruins of Earth, the sequence of events plays out almost identically to Wildcat's debut, complete with a recreation of its cutscene. albeit with a quad AC instead of Wildcat proper, but hey, it still counts.
Keep in mind, your primary objective is to guard the train.
Much like the Valkyrie and Stinger, Wildcat 2 makes a return in Armored Core Nexus, remaking his debut with Generation 3 Flare. Additionally, we get an alternate mission that sheds further light on the Wildcat's plight, as he is the one hiring you this time around.
I need your help. Something was done to me. I'm no longer human. Murakumo's trade. It must be stopped. I don't want any more surgery. Never again. Please, help me. I want to be released from all this.
The former Raven's pleas make it clear that Wildcat was broken by the Human Plus program, and is desperate to put a stop to the pain by attacking Murakumo properties.
Main system engaging combat mode.
We can't hold out much longer. Yes. I must.
Even after destroying the train, he lashes out at you, unable to distinguish friend from foe anymore. After putting him down in self-defense, his final breath ends in a pained thank you for ending his suffering.
Now, I'm
Now that we learned the history of the fallen Raven, let's head to the garage and see how the Wildcat plays in the modern day.
Well, you took your sweet time. This isn't right.
You know our priorities, Chartreuse. Let me deal with this.
Give me a break, King. That bossy attitude of yours doesn't do you any favors.
There's more to you than meets the eye. You might not be so different from the other Ravens after all.
Oh, get off your high horse, King.
I haven't seen anything like this since. You're strong. Worthy of your name.
King, pull your head out of your ass and withdraw. You're just a Gen 4. You belong in a museum, not an AC. Do you read me, Raven? I've identified the target. This mercenary must be an impressive pilot to take on the two of them at once. Let's see how far they can fly. One of Raven's wings. We'll take it from here, Chartreuse. King is toast, in case you were wondering. Careful you don't wind up like him.
Let's break this down, shall we? On account of being the literal first Armored Core we fight in the entire franchise, Wildcat is kind of a bare-bones machine. In the past generations, his defining trait was the berserk aggression with Moonlight, the highest damaging blade in each game it appears in. His augmentations were incredibly sloppy though. He didn't even have access to blade beams. Without that extra oomph, he's unfortunately just a starting Melander AC with a chain gun. Basic rifle, basic missile rack, nothing really stands out on this machine. That said, if you can handle Loader 4 just fine, then you can fly the Fallen Raven. If you have your own take on this Raven, be sure to leave your share codes in the comments below. As always, if you like the art in these videos and are safely able to do so, do consider supporting the channel via the means listed below, or leave a simple like and comment if you enjoyed the show. We're always cooking up something, be it mechs or bio, so if you like what you see, subscribe too. And as always, stay safe out there.